Greetings, everyone. Nate the Nerdarchy here from Nerdarchy, for nerds by nerds, and I'm currently freezing in my basement, which is why I've got the hood and the robe and the hat and everything. So, but we are playing the Holds the Mordain campaign, part 4, episode 4, part 2, and with me I have a set of adventurers ready to rock on the path to Astoria.
And I'm Silverthorn. I'm playing a female Wild Elf Ranger.
My name's Ben. I'm playing Gambit Fireshine. He's an Elven Cleric with a Guild Artisan background, a Nature Cleric.
My name's Rick. I'm playing Bard, a half-elf bard slash cleric of life.
My name's Sean, and I'm playing Kinnaid Dunaden, a Dwarven fighter, and apparently now a merchant. So we'll see how that goes. And Nate has assured us that the black robe has nothing ominous about it.
Now there's nothing going on. Roll for initiative. All right, so we ended last session heading on to the road to Astoria. It's about a week travel by wagon on a very nicely kept road. But some things can go amiss. Not every moment of a segment of the road can be watched all the time. And there have been travelers who have been accosted by bandits and other such things. It happens from time to time. So let me know the let's say order in which you're walking or riding or whatever such thing, just in case anything was to come up. And you also said goodbye to your companion, Ereven. He was heading towards the port city of Dresden with some other merchants. He had some things to move. And he bid you farewell, and he said good luck on your ventures, and good luck selling all the goods that you got to the Odin Guild.
Thank him for joining us while he could and for making the deal, and hopefully he will have safe travels and not find any of those people that he wishes to avoid.
As we head out, I'll be in front, carrying my bow in my left hand, but other than that, just try to be non-threatening.
I'll be up on the wagon sitting next to Kenny.
Yeah, I'll be driving the wagon.
I'll probably be riding the wagon as well, due to my short stature and.
The cart's for riding, so please make use of it. Keeps us from being tired.
Sean, don't look now, but there's a dangerous creature behind you.
Yes, I'm trying not to look.
The mountain cat will leap upon your head.
Yes, the mountain cat with the ferocious name of Sugar. There she goes.
That's like my kids wanted to name the cat that we found Snuggles, and that lasted for 2 days until we're like, this cat's a killer. We're gonna name him Hunter. So we named him Hunter because he's a murderer. He's got murderous intent.
I rescued them, and I had to come up with names to put on the microchips, and the only thing that came into my head, because there's another cat, and so Sugar and Spice, and those are the short names. My nephews came up with Cinnamon Sugar, and then there's also Pumpkin Spice. So, yay kids!
They're a lot of fun. All right, so you are heading north towards Astoria. It is normally, with everything good, about a 7-day travel. And the first day seems to go by uneventful. Doesn't seem to be any issues. And you set camp for the evening. You said Edwin's going to be with you, right? He's going to go up to Astoria, to the company?
Yeah. Okay. Yes, I'm going to turn him over, or help him enlist at the Three Peaks Company.
Okay. So he is with you, and he goes about helping set up camp when you want to set up for camp.
Quick question: we confiscated all of his weapons, correct?
He's got like a sling.
Okay. We just in case, and we need to. I mean, I'm going to find something that's bladed.
Well, he did say he picked up some stuff from the bodies that he buried.
Yeah, he's like wearing all their gear and stuff. So he's got pretty decent armor. He didn't put on any weapons though, because he figured that would be kind of an issue.
Does he have a shield?
He does not have a shield.
I can give him a hand axe, so he has something bladed just in case.
Unless you had any objections, he still has the packs from his companions. So,
well, if there's a bladed weapon and he can use it, then
oh yeah, he's got stuff.
Might be time to before we need it. Might as well pull it out. And
Okay.
just in case, this is where I keep the crossbow. If there's trouble, and it's just right behind where I sit, or it's under the bench where I'm driving the wagon, just in case there's a need for it. But I tell that to everybody, like, hey, there's a crossbow here, in case it's needed. So,
all right, Edwin's pretty set up in the back. He's got everything kind of laid out.
He's an organized guy.
Yeah, so he's ready in case something happens. So he's just kind of sitting on the back area of the wagon on top of that wood,
Cool.
which has tarps over it. So, all right, so you
can say a prayer for us, Kenny, if you're that worried.
I'm not exactly sure I'm on that good of terms with the gods, but sure. You know, I'm a guard. I'm supposed to be worried. It's my job to be worried. And then you hope that nothing ever happens. It's like insurance, although I'm not sure if that's been invented yet. So,
oh well, the merchant circle, you're certain that somebody has figured out insurance.
Gotcha. Well, in any event, just want everyone to be prepared in case something happens. If nothing happens, then I am happy with that. So we arrive in Astoria.
So you go to bed the first evening.
I'll take first watch.
I'll take whichever watch is convenient for people.
Okay. Do you just want to go Bard, Gambit, Silverthorn, Kane, or however you'd like it?
Are we breaking it up into 4 watches, or doing 2 sets of 2, or what is
Probably 2 sets of 2 there.
Okay.
Keep each other awake.
Yeah.
Sounds good to me.
I'd suggest me and Gambit first. That way we don't have interrupted sleep later on if we need to regain spell slots and such.
Okay.
All right.
And I'll be pull out my Pappy spell skins again and study them.
Okay. And you guys are all second level, right? I'm trying to just make sure I'm keen on everything.
Yes.
Unless you
want to give us some EXP.
No, that's good. I'll give you XP. I'll give you XP when you get to Astoria, if something happens in between now and then. The first evening is uneventful, and the second day starts off just like any old wagon day, traveling the trail.
Are we passing oncoming caravans periodically?
You see about 2 or 3 a day.
As they pass, I'll hail to them, ask them, any trouble on the road ahead, washed out roads or anything.
Oh, no, not at all. No trouble on the Astorian station part of the world.
I'll tell them we've had no trouble.
Good to hear. Safe travels.
And while the wagon's rolling, my shield is just perched on the edge of the wagon right there, so that I can just quickly put it on. But it shows the Three Peaks logo, so.
Oh, all right, there you go.
So if people think it's guarded by them, then great.
Good plan. All right, the second evening starts as uneventful as well.
While we're doing this traveling on the wagon, I'm going to go ahead and start practicing. I have a horn I recently got. I'm going to start practicing it a little bit. If people don't.
You say you just started. Do we have to do any sort of saving throws?
Well, I plan on using it less on serenading people and more like a battle charge cry, stuff like that.
I'll probably use this week-long trip to keep up on my crafting that I had started as well.
I think I have like 7 crystals broken and 2 that aren't. I'm going to go ahead and give him the Gambit, so if he wants to jewel craft on them or do anything.
Thank you kindly. I'll add them to my collection.
So, about heading to evening on the 3rd evening. Decent time away from Stationton and not quite halfway to Astoria. Gambit, you hear something in the woods. It is the chirping of familiar birds.
Okay, are they just singing songs or
Are they
talking?
goblins?
Or...
No, they're a little alarmist. And
Are they the same? Oh, never mind.
And
Okay,
they seem
so they're
familiar,
all-
like you've met them and talked to them in the past week.
I'll wait here, gents, and I'll mosey off into the direction that they came from and see if they're right close by.
Yeah, they're chirping around and the trees, and they say, "We followed. Here, here."
Thank you, friend. Thank you, friend. And I'll offer some more of the grains and nuts and berries. You've done very well. And I'll give them
Thanks.
a good handful. And I'll run quickly. Thank you. And I'll run quickly back to the party. Quick! There's goblins afoot. Secure everything.
Oh,
Ready yourselves.
well, fine then. Have we stopped for the evening? Is that the time frame?
Yes. Let's go with that.
And I'd like to try and find some spot to hide near the other people.
Well, usually, basically, there's parts to pull off to the side and set camp if you want. They're usually well tended, not overgrown. There's not too many trees growing around the areas in which they have set aside off the side of the road, so people don't just stop on the road.
Yeah. Let's make use of that so that
That's where you would normally be.
so that anyone coming up doesn't have cover.
I didn't mention that the past 2 times. Like, I should really tell them what their campsite actually looks like. So basically, there's the Merchant Circle Road, which is about 15 feet wide, 20 feet wide at some parts, and it is not pretty straightforward, not too bumbling or anything like that, or bumpy for how long of a road it is. Off to the side, they have these kind of like pullover stations where you can just stop and set up camp, and sometimes the more popular ones have nicer kind of stone worked pieces, so like piling of stone and some places to sit.
Can I find a spot where I am lightly obscured by foliage?
Yes, you can easily.
Then I do so and I attempt to hide there.
Okay.
I tell Edwin to form up on Kinney.
Shield
All
wall.
Yeah,
He will do that. Would you all like to roll initiative? Oh, actually, I'll roll initiative, but I'll tell you what you see. Sneaking up from the way of the birds, you easily see there are forms moving in the night. They look goblinoid. There are way more than there used to be. Than you saw the first time. There seems to be about 12.
Can we pick out a leader from this distance?
You see 1 or 2 of them making hand gestures and kind of like waving down the ones that are making too much noise.
And what's the distance? They're coming up over from a hillside? What's the distance?
They're about 60 feet away from the edge of your, like, where the campfire light would be.
Right.
But they're within bow shot of you. And you're within range of them. Like, for...
As the one group, can I cast Fairy Fire on them, or do I have to wait till we get initiative? That's 60.
You know what? Because they're trying to sneak up on you, but you see them, you can you can all go and choose to do something that's going to take like an action. So a spell or moving someplace or doing something like that.
Do they have? Can we tell if they have ranged weapons?
Most of them look like they have bows.
Ooh,
Probably
wow.
3/4 of them. So about 8 or 9 of them have bows out, and the rest of them have swords and shields.
With my knowledge of humanoids, can I try and pick out any of them that may have the gear or markings of a leader?
The 3 that have shields look like they are, or at least think they're more important, and one of the ones, the mid-range of the archers group, is looks to be directing them.
But they all have weapons in their hands. Nobody just waving a stick or anything.
No, no one's waving a stick.
Okay.
I'm just taking position so I can use the wagon as cover against the bowman as I grab that crossbow.
Well,
Gambit's gonna call upon the power of his god and cast Shield of Faith on himself.
I think then if you get to attack first, I'd like to shoot the leader type archer. So can I shoot?
Yes. And Bard, you said you wanted to cast Fairy Fire on them?
Yeah, on the first one.
Crap.
Oh, and I want to change my action.
Okay.
14.
14 on a goblin. I think you're going to have some problems.
And that was with advantage.
Oh, really? Yeah, that's not going to hit the archer leader.
Okay, that's one bow down, and they probably see me now.
Bard, you said you cast a Fairy Fire, right?
Yeah, it's a 20-foot cube within 60 feet, and they have to pass a dexterity save. Otherwise, they're outlined by a green light.
Okay.
And we haven't.
You can get 10 of them.
Let's go for that.
What's the dexterity save total?
My spell save is 13, I believe. I don't know. Is it just my spell save?
Yeah.
Then it's 13.
And the ones that failed, super failed. 4 of them glow with fairy light. 2 of the ones with swords, and 2 of the archers.
And instead of using the wagon for cover, remembering that I had the crossbow right there, I'm going to fire the crossbow at one of them with a bow, and then once I've fired, I'm going to drop it, and grab my shield.
All right.
Do I have advantage, or is it just a regular shot?
You can fire them with advantage. Sure.
I didn't know if the fairy fire might do that.
Oh, if you're gonna hit one of them with that has the fairy fire on it, go right ahead.
Yeah, it makes it easier for me. It makes it an easy target, so I might as well hit him.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see what's my bow. All right.
And when the fairy fire's on them, you hear several of them kind of panic a bit and shriek.
Okay. Does a 16 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
You're hitting one of the archers with fairy fire on it?
Yeah, one of the archers with
Okay.
fairy fire.
Yeah. As long as you're not shooting at the leader. The leader doesn't have fairy fire on it anyway. So.
No.
Okay.
I'm going for easy pickings. So 8 points of damage.
All right. One of the archers falls over with a crossbow bolt in its chest.
All right, now I'll ditch the crossbow and grab my shield and form up with Edwin.
Okay. Edwin is also going to take one of his crossbows that he has.
How many does Edwin have?
2.
Okay. Just didn't know how enterprising he had been, so.
Well, it's his and his friends. He fires and it goes wide. So, Gambit, what would you like to do?
Let me see here. If I move up, they're not within the range of Sacred Flame, are they? It's only like a 30-foot range, isn't it?
Really? I thought it was a lot closer,
Or is
a lot
it?
farther. I think I might have been
Could be
using it wrong.
Maybe I could reach them with that. Okay, I'll try that then. If I move up, I will try to. I'll move up a little bit farther ahead in front of Kine and
Range is
Edwin
60 feet.
Take point.
So you don't have to move very far.
Oh, and they're within. I don't have to move at all, really. Okay. And sorry. Let's see what I gotta do for that. The ranged spell attack.
No, they make a save. Sorry, with Sacred Flame.
So this is 12 to.
They failed it, so you can roll your damage.
Okay, so 6.
Oh, you've burned one severely. It's shrieking, and is trying to hide behind a shrub or something, trying to get some kind of cover from the fire that it doesn't know where it came from.
I guess I'll stay in formation. I don't. Everyone's not breaking formation, so I'll stay here.
Okay. All right. Now we'll do the initiative order now. So if someone could keep track of it, because I don't have my second computer set up.
Yeah, we've got it in the chat.
Which had fairy fire on them?
Yes, there's two archers that have fairy fire.
He killed one.
You're muted, Nate.
Oops. All right, so to review real quick, you got hit in on the creatures before they could do anything. One of the archers, goblin archers, is down out of the 8. Out of the 9 archers, so there's 8 archers left. That's the leader. There's 3 ones with shields and swords that have run into combat with you. One of them is struck Bard with an arrow from the volley of arrows, and 2 of the ones with shield and sword have fairy fire, and 1 archer does.
Okay, I will shoot at the one with the archer with the fairy fire.
Okay.
Slightly better. 15.
A 15 does hit a regular archer.
Yay. 4. Oh, wait, it isn't. Because it's a goblinoid. It's humanoid, so that's 6 points of damage.
Okay, 6 points of damage. This one has an arrow sticking out of its chest, and it does not look like it's long for this world. It falls over.
And I guess I'll just stay where I am.
All right.
All right. The mid-range archer who seems to be in charge of the archers. I'd like to cast Vicious Mockery on him.
Okay.
Yeah, he's already lost 2 troops, and that's just the beginning.
All right, he's got to make a wisdom save?
Yeah, wisdom saving throw.
He does not pass his wisdom saving throw.
He takes 1 point of psychic damage and has disadvantage on attacks next round. For my
you hear him kind of and try and shake it off, but your words have definitely reached him.
All right, and for my bonus action, I'm going to cast Bardic Inspiration on Kine.
All right.
Ooh. That sounds tingly. What does that do?
You can add it to your attack. I think you can add it to your AC, right? You can add it to a skill check.
Is that so? That's a +1 to those things.
It's a plus. It's a 1d6. You roll a d6 and add it.
Okay, I know when to use that.
I believe it's your turn. Your turn now, Kenny.
How many goblins are in attack range for them?
There is one right up in your face.
This one? Okay.
Well, there's one right up in your face. There's another one beside you, but
okay, well,
they're interested in Gambit.
Well, but I'll start with the one in front of me. Start with him and see how that goes. 19.
That will hit.
And...
Any of them. So just so you know, 18 plus, you fit anybody.
Okay, so that one will take There's my 11 points of damage.
You have slain him. How did he die?
With a cleave to his shoulder that went through his neck. And I'm going to pull that out, reverse the blade, and take it to the guy next to him who was on Gambit with my action surge. I wanted even to get the odds down quickly. And that would be 15 plus 5 is 20.
That will also hit.
And he will also take 9 points.
What did you do to him?
I took out his midsection so that his innards will become, his entrails will become extrails.
He drops his scimitar and tries to hold his guts in, but he fails to stay conscious long enough to do it and falls over.
And as they fall, I yell out, "Three Peaks!" In case they are familiar, in case they've heard humans use that before, and hopefully they'll think other people are coming and run. And I can use persuasion if that's relevant.
There is one single goblin with a shield left.
All right, and seeing Kane's vicious attack, I'll attempt to follow suit on this one.
This one has fairy fire on it, so just so you know.
So that's with advantage?
Yes.
That's good because that was a bad roll, the first one. Okay, so 11 plus... I think it's a hit. Does a 15 hit?
These, yes.
Okay. Oh, that's wrong dice. 8 damage.
Okay. You've struck him, and what did you do to him?
He's a goblin, so he'd be about the same height as me.
Yes.
It'd probably be another disemboweling.
All right. Hey, he falls over backwards, and you get sprayed with some of his stuffing.
It's no good. Wipe the innards off my face and challenge the rest of the goblins for more.
Yeah.
The archers are looking a little nervous. Has everyone gone?
Edwin.
Oh, Edwin. He lets loose his other loaded crossbow and fires, and he hits. He hits one of the archers, and in the arm, but it was not a telling blow that's going to fell it.
Is it possible for someone other than Silverthorn to be able to tell who the leader types might be? They look enough different than the other ones.
Okay, so you can see now that they're the fairy fires amongst them. You're looking at them as a group. You can see that several of the archers seem kind of plain comparatively speaking to the one that's the lead, and he has a better looking bow. It looks like it's got more ornate things on it, like feathers and other things like that. And he's also wearing some kind of headdress or something.
Ooh. Then he's the one to bark at. Got it.
And you also know he's definitely the leader because when stuff's looking like it's going south, he started moving back first.
Can I use as a free action? I want to intimidate. I'm going to point my finger right at him and say, "You." And I'm just going to give him the universal sign of...
He's looking at you kind of funny and draws back his bow. It's like, me?
Don't worry, he has disadvantage.
Not against me.
No, my vicious mockery.
Yes, he does.
Oh, very cool. Yay.
And the shot goes very wide. So You must have intimidated him.
That's all you got? Go home.
And Silverthorn, you're seen, right? Because you've been firing?
Yeah, even though 3 ran right past me.
Well, you were hidden in the brush. Wild elves are amazing creatures. Well, I don't think anything about a 17 is going to hit you, is it?
My AC is 14.
Yes. Okay. Well, the other attacks were abysmal. So several arrows. You hear icky elves is several arrows fly by you and you duck a few, but you do get one does strike you for 7 points of damage.
Let's see if I can return the favor. Let's see, the one archer still left with fairy fire on?
Let me see.
Or 2?
There's none of those guys left. There's let's say there's one archer left with fairy fire.
Okay, so let's see, we've got a total of 9 or 8 of them still out there, right?
There's the leader and there is 4 others.
Oh, there's less than a dozen. Okay. What the hell? I'll throw Hunter's Mark on the archer with fairy fire and then shoot at him.
Okay. You really doubling down on that.
Well, I can transfer it if he falls. And this ensures that it makes it easier for him to fall. It's a 22 to hit.
Yeah, it's...
That is 11.
He is dead. How did you kill him?
Shot him right between the eyes.
Oh.
And then I transfer the Hunter's Mark over to the leader.
Bullseye. All right. He gets struck between the eyes, and he just collapses. And his bow shot that he was stringing goes wide.
And I'll just stay where I am.
All right. Next up.
All right. I'll go ahead and focus on the leader. All right. What does Hunter's Mark do? Sorry.
Hunter's Mark gives me advantage on tracking them, and I do an extra 1d6 of damage, but that's just me.
Oh, okay. Then I'll go ahead and make fun of his headdress and cast Vicious Mockery on him again.
Okay.
So wisdom save of 13.
Oh, your save's 13, you say?
Yes.
Right. Oh, he has passed. He knows his headdress is fabulous.
As a bonus action, can I give a handful, we'll say 5 of my crossbow bolts to Edwin?
Sure. Yeah, you can toss them back to him.
All right, I'll go ahead and do that.
Okay. He's been busy reloading on the crossbow bolt, so he gives you a nod of thanks, and he lets loose with his. It goes wide. All right, everybody else still going? Gambit, you need to go. Kane, I believe.
Sean,
Yeah.
Kanae's before me.
So how many are left at this point? Did you say now? Well, he took one out, so 4?
Yes, you just killed another one, right, Silverthorn? So, there.
Are they close to us? Or
So
are
there's...
they archers,
No, they're actually backing away a bit. They're
Perfect.
about 60, 70 feet out.
Perfect. Then, I'll shoot. I'm going to have this shield, the wall advance, and just have the people who are with me just all do the 30-foot movement, because some people have taken actions. So we'll just move 30 feet closer to them. And then some of the people who are firing at them can continue to do so. But if they wish to engage us, we'll still have them at a disadvantage.
Okay.
And And just in case, I will hold my action in case if one of them comes at us, I will swing at him when he does so.
Well, they all seem to be keen on using their bows and staying away from you. Gambit, what would you like to do?
Yes. The leader, if I can get a good shot on him, I'm actually going to take my pickaxe and hurl it in his direction to get him right between the eyes, hopefully.
Pickaxe throw, that's going to be a long throw.
We're going to try it. I'm going to move my 30 feet, and I think it's at disadvantage where it's past 30 feet, isn't it?
You're going to be doing this with disadvantage, just to let you know.
Yeah, disadvantage, yeah. Okay. Oh, it's not going to be a good roll. 5 point. No, that's a 9.
Okay.
Quick question.
Yes.
Oh, no, never mind. Never mind. I already said what I was going to do, but I was going to see if I could switch to throwing the hand axe that I have at my belt. Oh wait.
Okay.
If it hits, it does good damage, but it didn't hit. Okay.
All right. Yeah, it's off in the woods. You kind of marked where you think it's going to land.
That's the light one anyway. That's okay.
The archers easily just jump out of the way of it. And they're all squeaking and screeching back and forth in Goblin. Everyone is gone. So you see that they fire once more, kind of half-heartedly at you. Very half-heartedly.
Come on, you cowards.
All right, Kane, does 19 hit you?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
You had to taunt them.
You had to taunt them.
Yeah.
Take 8 damage.
I'll take it and, well, not like it, but yeah. Sure. Ow.
They chitter some more, and the little slightly larger one with the strange headdress, basically, it looks like they look like they're leaving. The big one's going and running, and the other 3 that are able to run are running as well.
No problem. I run faster.
They're actually what side would you like to have made camp on? As you're heading towards Astoria, did you take the right-hand side or the left-hand side? Can we say the right-hand side? That'll work out better.
I was thinking right hand anyway.
I'm thinking right-hand side.
Okay. So they're running off deeper into the woods, kind of perpendicular to the Merchant Circle Road.
I move up full movement and fire at the leader.
Okay.
And I miss.
All right. Since you've begun chasing them, they're not firing back anymore. They're just booking it.
I can't catch him to be in range of my hand axe, so.
They're within 60 feet of the shield wall group.
Well,
you can if you got something that's 60-foot range or so, you can. I'll let you get one more go at them.
What's my range?
I'll cast Vicious Mockery at the leader and yell that a cow would run like that.
And what does he think about that? He thinks it's perfectly acceptable to run like this.
I'm trying to see what the range increment is with the hand axe.
Range is not 60 feet with the hand axe.
Is it 30 feet?
You're going to need stuff like arrows
Max
and
range.
things.
Max range of hand axe is 60, but you'll be at disadvantage.
Yeah, that's what it was. Yeah, that's why I disadvantage last time.
So if you want disadvantage, you can go for it.
Or I could move up to 30. We still have actions, correct?
Yeah.
Then I could move up to 30 feet and hurl it.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do it at disadvantage. Don't break the wall.
Okay.
Ooh, lowest roll is a 13.
Yeah, that'll hit then if you got pluses added to that. Yep.
Okay, cool. And dice. D6. Take. Do you get strength on the hurled weapon?
Yes,
Yeah.
you can. Yeah.
So 6 damage. 3 plus 3.
Okay, 6.
Yep.
That will take out one of the wounded ones.
I'll do
There are now 3 running for their little lives.
50-foot dash.
Okay.
That's all I can do.
Well, I don't think you'll be able to catch them if they also run away.
Okay.
So, but you could do.
If anyone tells me this, I won't bother.
Well, you could chase after them. I mean,
No, okay.
But I'm just saying, you're thinking that you're wondering if you can outrun a goblin, and you're not really sure.
Yeah, their movement is 30.
No, they're faster than me, and they have a head start.
Best to stay here. Because if they think they have the advantage if you're out there by yourself, then they might turn and all take a shot at you before they keep going.
Yes, but getting rid of 3 before they reach their camp would be beneficial.
Yes, but I don't
Best we break camp, maybe, and continue on down the trail.
That's probably a good idea, but I'm not sure we can catch them.
I think I've had enough rest for one night.
Yes, if I thought we could catch them, I'd be all for it, but I'm not sure we can.
Are we back to my turn yet?
Has everyone taken their turn?
Yeah.
Okay, the goblins have continued to just run now.
And how far they run? They're doing a full dash?
They do 60 every time they run and don't attack.
Okay, I'll run a full 35 and shoot at the leader again.
Okay. You think that probably by this might be your last shot if you can't get a good beat on them based on the terrain and how it's entering wooded areas and things.
That's a 16.
Yes, you can hit him.
And 10 points of damage.
Woo. Now, you haven't done any damage to him yet, have you? He's just done vicious mockery damage?
I think there was the one psychic.
Yeah, I think I hit him once. No, I didn't. I didn't hit him.
Yeah, you did not hit him, I thought. Okay. I just want to make sure that I'm not thinking, I don't want to add a dead goblin's damage to him on accident.
It's okay if he stumbles, though, while he's running.
All right, so is that, yeah, everybody else can decide what they're doing. Are they still chasing them? Silverthorn's on a tear, basically, for this guy.
Uh-huh.
Are they in range of Edwin?
He can take a shot, but it's not looking too good.
Yeah, we'll take it anyway. Only costs a bolt.
Yeah, his shot goes wide.
I've got to work on that.
Gotta get some goblins running through the woods, like target practice going on.
That's what this is.
Yeah.
They're not even zigzagging. Come on,
Didn't say they were good at it.
Hey, it's not a flat plain. There's trees, there's things that get in the way, breaks line of sight, that kind of stuff. Just just be happy they're not cannibal halflings.
I've heard of those. Never did meet one.
They're terrible to behold.
If when turn comes around again, do I have line of sight on the leader, or do I have to, after running 35, do I have to run further?
I think you're gonna have to run further to do line of sight.
Okay, then I'll dash another 35.
Okay, you're quickly leaving everybody else behind. Just to let you know.
Do we see that Silverthorn is pursuing?
Oh yeah, he's like dog after bone.
Then I wall advance. I got you just in case if there's any support. I gotta go.
Okay.
Edwin,
I'm not gonna
stay with the wagon.
I'm not gonna let him go that easily. I will eventually give up, but not yet.
Well, apparently I've already had the thought to stay with the wagon, so I will.
Okay.
Someone has told me to do so.
Well, the person that told you that now sees another person running after them. So now the plan is I must protect. So I'm just confused. It's the PTSD. I don't know. I'm just confused. I'm now going after him.
I'll stick with Kenny as support. That way it's Gambit and Edwin at the wagon, me and Kenny trying to help.
Okay.
Okay.
Edwin gets down and starts, pointing his crossbow bolt at some of the goblins, making sure they're dead, kicking them, things like that. And you guys continue to pursue the three goblins and think that Silverthorn is going to be able to find them for a while, being that they've got Hunter's Mark on them, right?
Yeah, it gives me advantage. But I'm assuming that they're still actually. Yes, my dark vision's only 60 feet. So yeah, actually they may actually lose me now that I think about it.
You can still follow their trail, right? It's just harder.
Yeah, but it's hard to do. It's hard to follow a trail when you're running at a dead run.
This is true. I would say that you probably very soon are going to lose the trail.
Actually, he's gaining 10 feet every time he doubles on him.
But if I don't know which way they're going.
Yeah, but like I said, if they're not running in a predictable straight line, he's not running a race. He's trying to catch people who are trying to not be caught.
I mean, I could probably, since they're humanoids, I could probably make it try an intelligence check or a wisdom or survival check to figure out where they're likely to go based on the terrain I can see.
Mm-hmm. All right. Would you make a check then? Survival?
And that would be 8.
Oh, well, with your Hunter's Mark advantage and your
Oh, wait a
disadvantage.
second. I didn't do advantage.
Well, I'm going to say that running full tilt, trying to find them, is not a good way for stalking the prey here. So I'm giving you just a single roll.
Well, then I think I've lost them.
All right. Gambit, you hear
upset.
some. You're very upset.
I yell in Goblin, "Come back, you coward! I'm just an elf."
You not hear any reply. I think it's a better part of valor this time. Gambit, you hear a screech from one of the goblins. The one that you hit with Sacred Flame.
Okay.
It's pretty hurt, and he's mumbling to himself, and he screeches when Edwin comes near him and says, no, not the bucket. Don't put me in the bucket.
Bucket. And I'll look to see what's transpiring.
And Edwin got startled because he saw the guy there and was moving, and he's ready to. He's wondering whether or not to shoot him, since he's obviously got some head issues if he's screaming about not getting put in a bucket.
Oh, I'll go over and I'll knock him back out again.
Okay, you're gonna go up to him and just kind of slap him around.
I'll bonk him on the head.
Okay, as long as you don't do it with a weapon.
I'll do it with a shoe or something. I don't know.
You just kick him in the head. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. He's easily he was pretty out of it. He easily just falls over.
I'll look at Edward and tell him not to pay him any mind. We'll figure out what to do with him when the rest get back.
All right.
I hate goblins. Goblins and kobolds are the worst.
Once I lose contact, I'll start stealthing my way back to the group. Since I don't know where they are, they may be right next to me.
Well, there's two guys in chainmail, so you'll hear us coming.
Yeah, we're not stealthy.
Well, when I see you guys coming, I'll stand out and say, yo, right here, I lost him.
Sure. I'm glad you stopped. I was starting to get a bit winded.
Not used to goblins running that fast. Back to home, they just do a fighting retreat.
Well, they're perhaps going to save themselves to pick on a quarry that's less ready for them.
You
so
did.
Once again, it's a dissatisfying hunt.
I don't know. 3 out of 4. It's pretty good.
Is that Edwin said that?
Yeah, he seemed kind of like thinking about the numbers. Like, yeah, 3 out of 4. That's not too bad.
I'll look at him and say, you lot weren't hard to find, and they ran away. It's 2 bad hunts in a row.
Oh, he starts looking, like, counting. He's like, oh, 3 out of 4. He gets quiet. Real quiet.
I'll look to Silverthorn. What should we do with this stinking thing? I'll point to the unconscious one who... He awoke speaking about something about a bucket. I knocked him back out again.
He wasn't making any sense. He was screeching about not getting put in a bucket. Did goblins do that? They're strange.
We have no earthly idea.
As far as I can tell, we got no use for him. But...
Have I ever heard of goblins being in a bucket?
No. In all your travels through the wilds and all the strange aberrations you've seen, no buckets that goblins would be scared of.
Well, it seems like he might be in a bad way then, perhaps. He's not.
Well, Silverthorn's confused. Jeff thinks it's a plot hook, but Silverthorn... And I can hear the goblins screaming in the background.
Someone's upset.
Oh, that's on my mic, sorry. You get intended to.
That's okay. I had wild creatures happening earlier.
Well, I guess we should wait till he wakes up again and ask him about this here bucket.
You got a feeling that unless the goblins are right around the corner with a whole horde of them, they're probably not going to be back tonight.
I may have some herbs or something that might ease his comfort, calm his nerves or something.
I could do a medicine and stabilize him.
Yeah, he's unconscious right now. I mean, it's probably good to check him over if you want him to live.
Yeah, we can go about that.
Silverthorn, you could use a healing kit on him.
I got a 15 medicine.
That's good. He's fine and stable. He probably has no. Probably not going to die tonight.
That's completely up to him and his actions.
Does he speak common fairly well enough for us to understand him?
Well, he knows bucket, please, and no. So.
Oh God.
So he's still pretty beat up. He probably won't wake for a while.
Okay.
If you'd like, you can rest the evening.
We were debating earlier whether.
I think we should just up and. Yeah, I think we should just up and break camp now. After that.
Now, how far in the night were we?
Very, very soon. Pretty much, you had set camp and it had just gotten dark.
We can push on a little bit, maybe find a spot that's a little safer to camp.
Well, it might, another spot might be safer, but hard to tell. But if these come back, they'll come back with more friends.
Yeah, Kenny, you've traveled this road before, haven't you? How far to the next prepared campsite?
Well, I've been across it once or twice. Um, Brain, how far to the next one between here and home?
Kinay's brain says 4 hours of travel.
Well, the next spot's about 4 hours away. So it's either this, keep a vigilant eye, or 4 hours away. And by then it's time to get up. Well, maybe not quite time to get up, but if you want to shift positions, you can still get close to a full rest.
Would the 4-hour ride can be considered a short rest? So if we loaded up, we could use a hit die to regain any hit points.
You could all take turns trying to relax in the wagon. So yeah, it could. It's a nice smooth road. So
I am not a sack of grain, a child, or a cripple. I am a warrior of the Akawi tribe, and warriors do not ride in wagons.
especially not when they're slightly hurt.
I'll take that under advisement.
I'll just get in the wagon and laugh at him.
And you can still have your hit points of damage then, Silverthorn.
And as I say that, I'm just going to reach up to the arrow, pull it out, and I will shake my head and use my second wind to restore the hit points.
All right.
I try to recover a couple of my arrows from the nearby goblins.
Okay. You don't have any problems finding your equipment. Silverthorn, you lost one more arrow.
Yeah, the one in the leader that kept running.
That would be it.
And I'll just let Silverthorn know if she wants her wounds tended to, that I can do that.
I'm fine. Just frustrated.
You looked a little banged up, but not too worse for wear. I wasn't sure.
Just throwing the goblin in the cart? In the wagon, sorry.
Yep. And reload the crossbow and...
I assume you tie up the goblin.
Sure.
We have to get some manacles if we're going to keep bringing weird assailants with us.
That seems to be a pattern.
What does Edwin think of this?
Edwin just looks at the goblin, looks down at his crossbow, just looks at the goblin again. 3 out of 4.
There's a lot of wares in that cart I don't want tampered with. Well, here we are bringing the goblin along. But whatever.
You're the one that just knocked him out and wanted to see what happened when he woke up.
He wasn't making any sense to me. I didn't know what you blokes wanted to do with him.
Did the dead goblins have anything of interest on them other than weapons and armor?
Check out the goblins. They all have serviceable short bows, but I wouldn't try selling it to any warrior anytime soon. Maybe some kids would buy them. And the scimitars, while in bad condition, they'll still cut you.
I say gather the weapons so that if the goblins come back, they don't get to use them again. We can always break up the bows for kindling.
And there's plenty of those barbed, jagged arrows with the really mangled fletching on the back.
Kindling.
You mentioned really mangled fletching a couple of times. Is that ordinary for goblins, or is this extraordinary?
It's just kind of dirty and mangy looking, like they decided to chop up the bird and eat it, and then they went, "Oh, we could put these on our arrows for fletching."
But with my knowledge of humanoids, is this a typical type of fletching for goblins?
Yeah, you would say that. They're kind of grody when it comes to things. The places they live stink. You know, they don't what is it? They don't adhere to the philosophy if you're stuck in a 10 by 10 room, you should use the corner as a bathroom. They just go wherever. Whatever.
And FYI, I also get advantages on perception, so if that guy comes back within the next hour...
You're ready for it. Okay. Well, You're pretty sure that he just kept booking it towards the east.
All right. Is everybody cool with loading up and heading down to the next way station or whatever we're going to call it?
It'll make for a late night, but we can do it. Just get the
If you guys are fine with staying, I'm fine. But
Okay,
let's go. If we want to make some more ground up and put some ground between us and these goblins.
okay, you get a total of 109 silver pieces plus all the arms and armament from them.
Well, there'll be animals about soon that will smell the dead bodies and want to feed, so we should probably move away from
Good point.
where that's going to happen. So I'm all for loading up and going.
Okay, and Edwin
Wide
sees
awake now, anyway.
Edwin sees the wisdom in that, so he hurriedly helps to get the camp all gathered together and stomp out the fire. Puts a few hot coals in a metal pot and sets them hanging from the back of the wagon. So that way we can start the fire right away.
You've been trained well, lad. Well done.
Well, I used to get yelled at for not starting the fire fast, so.
That's what it takes. And we're off.
All right. The 4 hours travel there, while it is very strange to walk a road with nothing but the glint of weapons and other things, and glint of eye shine from your companions, and the every once in a while polished cobble that you see ahead of you. It is uneventful, and you get to the next not so nice and well tended stop that you can rest at. It is well into the evening. The moon is high, and you're setting up camp.
Set it up and rest.
Has everyone done everything that they want to do? Healing hit dice as well. Anybody that wants to take a short rest on the wagon could over the 4 hours. It is a nice, smooth ride. For the most part. I mean, as far as wagons go, it's a nice, smooth ride.
Yeah, I used one hit die on the wagon ride.
Okay. All right. The evening goes by uneventful. If you want to sleep in to kind of make up some sleep, it'll definitely count as a long rest. Otherwise, you can just go with it being a short rest.
I will sleep in.
Well,
warriors don't sit in the wagon, but they'll definitely sleep in.
So that means the wagon won't go anywhere. Or...
Yeah, I'll sleep in as well.
Okay.
In the words of Madras, if you wish to sleep in, I will also sleep in.
Gambit wakes to find everyone asleep. So. Oh, well. Here we go then.
Well, I mean, we should still keep the watches. We're not just all going to sleep. Because there is that pesky goblin, you know.
Oh, that's right. At some point we get up and around anyway.
Yeah, you do. You actually get woken up, Gambit.
More forest creatures at the ready.
Well, you hear all the lovely forest creatures. You're trying, like, ignoring the birds in the morning and ignoring the squirrels running around trying to look for stuff, and you're like, I just want to get some sleep. Stop talking to me. And Silverthorn and Gambit, you hear the rustling from the cart of the tied-up goblin, and he falls out of the cart, trying to get loose, but he doesn't look like he's doing it very successfully. So he falls out of the cart. He goes, ugh, and he doesn't move.
Careful now, you're gonna break something.
So I walk over to the goblin, and I look down at it, and I say, oh, wait a second, goblin, I don't have an accent. So, little one, why did you choose to attack us last night? And what's this about a bucket?
He's looking at the ember pot on the side. That's not the bucket, is it? And you talk funny.
You may have noticed I'm not a goblin.
Oh, I've noticed, all right.
So why did you attack us last night?
You're in the area where this is our place, not yours.
The number of your dead companions says otherwise.
I'm sorry, I'm cracking up. Your not accent is it's like, what is Jeff doing?
It's hard to be
yeah.
fluent in a goblin.
Yeah, it's great. It's because it's funny because none of the goblins sound like that. So they're just like, yeah, you talk funny. Okay. Excuse me.
They probably don't realize that their verbs can be conjugated.
Oh, they definitely don't realize that unless they do it completely haphazard and on accident. He's looking at like where he was burned last night. Yes, that hurts very much. How many? You killed many of us, huh? I guess the rest ran away. Left me for dead.
But what is this about the bucket that you were saying?
As soon as you say the B word, he gets really scared. Don't put me in the bucket, please. I'll be good. I'll do whatever you need me to do. Don't put me in the bucket.
Who puts goblins in buckets?
The big scary man.
Big scary man?
Yes.
Big as in bugbear? Orc?
Not so hairy scary man.
Human?
No, you guys are too tiny. I wouldn't be scared of humans with a bucket. Well, that bucket.
So, in Goblin, what do you call that type of big man?
He tells us to call him Scary Man, or we named him Scary Man. But he's some kind of, what's bigger than orcs? Ogre. Ogrekin. Giants. Huge. And he has a bucket.
And he puts goblins who misbehave in it.
My cousin went in the bucket. He never came out.
So did the big scary man tell you to attack the caravans?
We're supposed to patrol the area, he says, which is where you walk around not doing whatever you feel like and doing boring stuff, and every once in a while you get to do fun stuff like kill people and eat them.
And where is the big scary man now?
Probably with his bucket. Where are we? I don't know where we are. I can't tell you where I was.
Using my Outlander feature, I try and describe the area as best I can in goblin terms.
Okay. Oh, and he says, now you make sense. You're all using like proper highbrow Goblin King on this guy. Yes, okay. So if you go back down this trail to where we fought you, and then you head left of that, and you'll go down and side and snake through a valley area, and there's a cave entrance there.
And does this sound like the direction that the other orcs or other goblins were heading when I lost them last night?
They were definitely heading east, so that would be left if you were heading back down there and taking a left. So he described pretty much where they were running, and you did start to lose them when they were following this like zigzag path, but they didn't follow it for forever. You lost them before you knew whether or not there was something else. He's telling you, oh, there's something else after that. After you do the zigzag 5 times, you look up and there's a big hollow tree, and that is where
Where the cave entrance
the
is.
scary man lives.
Oh, the scary man lives in the big hollow tree.
Well, the tree's not that big. The big hollow tree is where the entrance to Scary Man's house is.
Are there any other non-goblins with Scary Man? There are only goblins with Scary Man?
Just the goblins in the bucket. Every time he says the bucket, it's either with fear or reverence. Or scared reverence.
Would you like to help us kill the big scary man who put your cousin in the bucket?
I couldn't do that. He'll put me in the bucket.
Okay. Thank you very much for your help.
Sorry.
I say, thank you very much, and then I slit his throat.
Oh. And as he's holding, he's like his arms up to his throat. He looks over to the brazier and goes, "Not the bucket," and he dies.
And I relayed what I learned to the rest of the group. See, there's this here big scare man down there, leading all the goblins. I got directions from this guy before I killed him how to get back there.
Great.
That's how you treat a goblin NPC right there.
Apparently.
That's awesome.
Do you want to join up? No? There you go then. Well.
That was great.
I thought that Kenny was going to reform him. He was going to be part of the Three Peaks.
Yeah, if he wanted to be treated well, he should have talked to Kenny.
Well, I don't think Kenny knows Goblin.
Knew that conversation would have been short.
But the goblin knows common because he spoke it last night.
Yeah.
Would any of our characters have any knowledge of ogres or giants in our past?
Let's see.
I got Arcana.
Is it ogre humanoid?
Yeah, they're pretty. Well, I think they're technically giant kin.
Kind of a giant, I think.
And no. Don't have a master manual with me.
They're giants.
Is that something I would know through Arcana?
No. They're very not Arcana.
I don't know if they'd be like a regional thing or if they're quite rare or...
It's not that they're quite rare, it's just all the interesting things in the world to write books about, ogres don't top the list, that's for sure.
Would I have had any experience with them along the roads over the years?
You may have had experience with some people's horses going missing or donkeys. Sometimes.
So we've only heard stories then.
Yeah,
only by stories and tales.
None of you have seen an ogre, but you've all heard stories. They're very tall. They're very big. They like to eat things a lot. They're pretty stupid. And they don't necessarily. For example, Kenai, you've heard stories where an ogre will steal a horse and cart, tear it away down the way from a merchant couple or something, eat the horse, leave the cart, and it could be filled with all kinds of good stuff.
Because it doesn't recognize it as valuable.
It just doesn't have the intellect to say, "Ooh, maybe I could trade for things like this."
But this one apparently is smart enough to know that it should properly boil goblin before eating them.
They do. Okay, ogres do tend to take stuff, but it's not like they don't have the mindset of, "Oh, I've killed these people. Now I'll take all their stuff as treasure." They might take some things.
But it sounds like he sends out his minions to go scour the land for food for him,
and probably stuff.
And if they don't bring enough food, then someone goes in the bucket.
Perhaps.
Now, Kenny, is it normal for goblins to be raiding along this here trade road?
They do, but the fact that this scary man is organizing them, that's a wee bit of a concern.
So we should go take care of this.
Well, you could interpret what I just said as meaning that. But we do need to get to Astoria with the wagon. Because we can't leave the wagon alone while we go deal with Scary Man.
Well, Edwin can watch it.
You want to leave Edwin alone by himself with the wagon while we go off and chase the Scary Man?
Well, you're the one who brought him along.
If I hadn't, we would have no options to leave him alone with the wagon. So I'm confused as to why that's an extra concern. We're dropping him off in Astoria, like with the wagon.
How many days from Astoria are we?
You are 3 1/4 days in.
Yeah,
we're about halfway.
You're about halfway.
Yeah, so we could deal with this on the way back if we really wanted to.
Yeah, I mean we know where to find him, so we'll deal with him when we're on our way back to Stationton.
Astoria may have a reward. I mean,
I'm sure we can check in Astoria. They might have a job board.
All right, I'll let you make the decision then. I'm just the escort.
Well, from what you've said, I didn't hear anything that said a large-scale attack was imminent. So a few more goblins might go in the bucket between now and when we meet the Scary Man. I don't think that's a cause for the concern.
Yeah, a few more goblins, maybe some caravan drivers. No big deal.
Well, feel free to go off, but we have the wagon. We can't leave Edwin alone with it. And we can't leave one of us alone with it and deal with Scary Man. So in terms of resources, what have we got? We can't split it.
I already said I agree with you. Why are you still arguing?
Because you argued. We always argue. If we don't argue, there's something wrong.
And the music starts.
They're an odd couple.
Fight, and I'll clack the reins and let's go there.
Towards Astoria then?
Onward.
And we arrive in Astoria.
And that'll be true someday.
I keep trying that in all the games I'm in, and it never seems to work. Yeah.
The 4th night is uneventful, as well as the 5th and the 6th night. And during the 7th day, you see the outline of Astoria.
What the hell is that?
I will describe it to you. It is a large wall made of polished white stone, or perhaps glazed clay. And as the sun is not noon yet, you get a lot of reflection off of the stone walls. The stone walls are at least 3 people to 4 people tall, and there is massive gates at the merchant circle. As the merchant circle road goes right into the central part of the wall. To the right, at the end of the wall, through the trees, you can see that there's a mountain range that seems to start there and go off towards the east.
Once we get into the town, can we still see the mountain range?
You got like a half a day to the town.
Ooh, shit.
The walls are big. You can see them from a while away.
Is this kind of farm country leading up to it then, or?
So you would say, yes, there's a lot of farmland. There's a lot of farmers, and you can see that there are little tiny markets here and there, a couple hours distance, because, this is where it's, kind of the farmers that don't feel like going into town because they've traveled far enough as it is, sell their goods to kind of bulk purchasers is what it looks like.
Told you it was bigger.
And Silverthorn, you are surprised that you are seeing markets and not the actual town yet, because as far as you're concerned, when you can see Stationton, it's like another, 20 minutes and you're there.
Yeah, she's trying to figure out how to maintain her grasp of geography around the new terrain.
Yes, well, the forest has turned into more farmland and hedgerows. So you can see that it's kind of squared off different farmlands, different farmers tending to different areas. And it looks like they have some trees, but it's a lot of cultivation all around.
Well, if I can see the mountain range, still see the mountain range, I can use that as a basis for orientating things in my mind.
Yes, off in the distance is the entire Moradane mountain range that stretches along the east, but that is quite far off. It's always a continual companion as you travel, especially if you travel on the merchant circle, because it is clearly present pretty much through the trees at all times. And it's just a little kind of like a leg of the range comes across into Astoria area, and part of the reason why it's so easily visible is because sections of the wall go up the actual section of the range into the foothills of this mountain crag, and you can see that there's a lot of like holes in different sections cut out that it's been mined and been kind of sculpted a bit, and there is higher tiered things up going into the mountain range and the wall, and it looks like that is where the keep is as well.
Yeah, my only concern is if the city has tall buildings, if I get to a spot where I can't see natural terrain, it's going to be confusing.
There's probably going to be a few spots you're going to have issues with them when you get inside.
Okay. It'll take a while to learn different landmarks.
Gotcha. It's like city is just like the wilderness, just organized on a grid system.
But I'm not used to looking for a building as a landmark.
Yes.
Building is something to go around, not to navigate by.
Yes. Makes perfect sense. They all look the same, right? They're all square and bleh. Unnatural. All right, so you pass farmland for quite a while, about half a day, and you arrive at the gates of Astoria. There is a little bit of a queue to get in. It's getting kind of late on the 7th day, and you're just going to eke by before they would normally close the gates.
Perfect.
Now,
I can provide paperwork if we need to get entry, or
Well, we're here on merchant business, so
that's right. So should be no problem.
they're not usually going to shun visitors. We'll be fine.
does Kenny know where the inn is, or should we ask the gate guards?
I can probably find you an inn. My family's here.
Follow the scent of ale.
Follow your nose.
My dad's a blacksmith here, so we'll be fine. We'll have a comfortable place to stay.
As the road starts getting crowded, I'll fall back to the wagon and keep my hand on it.
There's room inside.
Okay, so you're going to be like, I don't want to get lost, so I'm going to hold on to the...
Well, I mean, there's so many people, they're bumping into each other and they're pushing around.
They're getting pretty close. All right, so you get up to the gates, and some of the guards just nod at you. You're not sure. Sometimes they're looking for people. Sometimes they're looking for certain subtle clues that they should talk to somebody. And
Like an extremely nervous elf.
Yes, that'll draw their attention.
I've got the three-peak shield right there next to me, so hopefully that, and I've got whatever papers are needed for the merchant shipment. So
the Silverthorn's eyes are just darting all over the place. It's just, what the hell is all this?
So, Silverthorn, are you like grabbing onto a rope or something, or just like touching the wagon?
I figure that there should be something I could hold on to, a bracket, something.
Okay.
Without being able to see the wagon, I can't tell you what I grab onto. I just There should be something. It should be completely smooth-sided.
Oh yeah, yeah. You can totally. I just want to get the imagery right.
Oh yeah, that's right. It's the other campaigns that covered wagon. I don't know whether this wagon's covered.
No, this one. No, this is just a cart. Wagon cart.
Yeah.
So I'll find something to hold on to. You have to reach up and grab.
So you just grab some. You just grab some rope. That's hanging off the side and hold on to it. So everyone else riding in it.
Yeah. Yes.
And Silverthorn, you just look like a standard wild elf.
Yep, just buckskins, moccasins.
Okay. They the guards notice you, and you can see them like glancing at each other and chit chatting.
I tell Silverthorn to pick up her jaw. They're gonna start calling her a bumpkin. Just going to draw attention.
I close my mouth.
Bumpkin and proud. It's like, oh, so well-trained ones, told on the wagon and everything. You hear from one of the guards, and they kind of snicker.
Yeah, just don't get on her bad side.
When they hear that, when they see that you overheard, they kind of like straighten up and like, oh. Move along.
Thank you, boys.
Yep, have a good day. And success in your business.
Well, thank you, lads.
All right, as you come in, it's kind of chaotic. The merchants, the wagons that are going in don't stay on the main path for very long. They all have, Kene, you're very familiar with this. They all have their kind of fastest route to the market. And it's a gamble of, is somebody clogging up the road and ahead of them? Is there a particular street hawker or something like that that's crowding the way? Whichever the case may be, everybody's got their theory on the best and fastest way and least problematic way of going to the market.
And is the market where we're going to find the merchant we need, the clan Odin, or that we need to deliver this to?
That's going to be the Crafter's Lane, and that is going to be to the west.
Let's head that way and get this transaction over with.
Okay.
Got to have money to spend in town.
This is true. Right at the edge, where we'd say like Crafter's Lane is going to be, there is a very famous tavern. It's called the Gates of Ale.
Never heard of it.
You haven't. It's famous. And basically it's two ornate gates made of metal that are dark and black and all kinds of stuff, and they look kind of like they could be flamey or on fire. And but there's rays of these three golden beams shining upon this little kind of like embossed copper kettle of ale.
That's where it'll go once we've been feed.
Yeah, it's a famous spot for crafters to go, and it's parked right at the end of Crafter's Lane. Crafter's Lane is long and kind of it takes its zigzag through the crafters districts. You smell all different kinds of things. There's tanners, there's people working with all kinds of concoctions and strangeness. There's a dozen different smells all overlaying them. Silverthorn, you're kind of overwhelmed with the sickening industry of it. It just does not, I mean, if you're not using deer's brains, you're not doing it right? But it all kinds of smells of strange city nastiness here.
There's a reason I'm grabbing onto the wagon.
Yeah. Sorry, I misspoke. That's going to be after like the jewelers and other things like that, and the crafters of kind of less smelly, less nasty means. And further back to where you are, you can smell the tanners and the dyers and other things. But right on the edge of that is the last stop before all the kind of industrial nastiness, and that is the Odin's Guild, which is the place you were stopping to drop off this exotic wood.
Perfect. Don't want to get near the smelling stuff.
Yeah. So you are dropping off the wood. Odin's Guild. There is basically a raven with smoking a pipe on the side, and it's surrounded by a forest of wooden sculptures.
Perfect. We'll park the wagon and find someone to attend to the wood.
Okay. Someone actually comes out when you park the wagon and says, "Hey, you can't park that here. We're expecting a shipment."
And that's why
this is your shipment, lad.
And that's why I'm parking. That's why I'm parking it here.
I'm sorry. Arlen send you?
Yes.
Arlen, yeah. Arlen is the merchant that you recall. That's his name. That Ervin set up with him.
And I will say it with more confidence.
Yes. Like, I'm sorry. I was expecting him himself.
Well, he tossed us with it, so.
Please excuse my rudeness. He must have other pressing matters, but as long as everything's in tip-top shape, I'll be fine to settle accounts with you.
Take a look.
And this looks not super burly, but he's kind of built. Looks like he's worked with his hands a lot, but he's not like removing rocks all day. But he looks like he is a competent craftsman build to him. So he goes, "Oh, it's in the back here," and he goes back and he messes around with it, looks it over, smells it, feels it, puts his face on it. Kind of strange. But and then you can see him with his nail. He scratches the edge of it, and kind of wafts in the aroma of it. I think this is perfect stuff. So I believe it was 140. We'll settle accounts.
I believe you are not correct by 10.
Let me go check. And he goes
We
in.
have a receipt, like the whole thing on a piece of paper.
I don't know if we received a piece of paper. I just thought we were told that we could get one. Might be able to get 150.
Is there a mite in there?
I don't know. I'm just telling you what Sean remembers. Now, what Kinnaid remembers is 150. So that's what he remembers just fine. You always remember the top end.
And Kenny probably also remembers that merchants always have to get stuff in writing.
I'm sure he does.
You know what? There was a piece of a script for it. You were given something, so you'd be able to hand that to him.
Yeah, it tells who to go to and all that, I thought.
Yep. Yeah. It would have it written on there. So he says 140. You say nay, and you can hand him that.
Here you go then.
Oh, all right. Well, let's make sure everything is in order. And he's looking through the paper, and he's checking the stacks. Yes, you're right. We'll settle accounts for 150. The boys vouching for you on this, so there you go. You sure you don't want to take 140 and take some of this Cinnabare wood with you?
What's special about it?
The beauty of the wood once it's carved and polished is exquisite, and when you take the filings of it and the shavings of it, it makes a fantastic smoke.
Well,
he kind of reeks the smoke.
Well, while he's unloading, we'll confer. We'll let you know.
All right. I'll have the boys unload. So he goes, grabs the guys to unload it. He's taking it out. It's like, so you do anything else in these parts while you're here. Are you off to onto the circle again? Off to spin around on the circle?
Well, I don't have a load to go anywhere at the moment, so probably just visit some family, and then we'll might be here for a day. But we've got some business to attend to in the south.
Ah, back to Stationton, I guess. Well, it's a nice place to stop for every once in a while. It's great for after 7 days on the road, that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Since we're not moving, Silverthorn is going to keep holding on to the wagon, but she's going to start looking around at the buildings, see if she can figure out how to tell one building from another. What are the specific landmarks you should be looking for?
Okay, there is off in the distance. I mean, well, there's up the hill a bit. There is the Gates of Ale, and
she's not looking that far. What she's trying to say is, okay, how do I tell this building, what characteristics make this building different from that one?
Okay, well, there's a scraggly little tree across the way growing out of a crack.
Because when you look at people, like you always say, some people, they all look alike. That's for me in buildings right now. So I'm trying to figure out how one building looks different than another.
Yes. All right. Well, some of them, there's one down the way that's got a cracked tile. The one next to that has that scraggly tree growing out of it. You can start to see, like, all right, they all kind of look the same, but now I'm starting to see a few different things. Like, some of them are pretty obvious. One of them has a boarded up window.
Okay, it'll take me a while, but
yeah,
that's what she's doing because she's not used to being disoriented.
So she's feeling out of the fish out of water right now. Pretty bad.
Yeah, she's not even looking at the people right now.
Trying to get her bearings.
Oh, but as soon as she thinks that, she makes certain that her money pouch is inside her clothing. She's heard stories about that.
Yeah. All kind of nastiness city folk get into. All right.
So we might as well take a little bit of that wood because I think I'm gonna go make us some more coin down the road, if we can.
It's fine by me. I was thinking, I'm not sure about that special smoke thing, but that sounded intriguing. So,
Gamut's quite fond of the pipe anyway.
Well, there's nothing wrong with a good pipe. So I'd be willing to take some of it too. So we each have our shares of the profit, so we can decide how you want it.
Plus, they said it's beautifully worked when it gets carved and polished, so I might be able to work it into something too.
So
take a little bit
40,
and
40
go ahead.
And,
Is it
55 for Sean?
So 40 then.
well? There's 150 total.
Well, just take 5 off what you would have got. You would have got 60, so you got 55, and we each got 45, so he gets 40.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. So you're gonna buy some of the wood, basically.
Yeah, we'll take him up on the offer. Never know. Is it? Well, I wouldn't know when he comes back. I'm going to ask him if it's a hardwood. Would it be? Is it good for just carving it, for artwork, or is it good for an axe handle?
Say that last part again.
Is it good as an axe handle?
I think it's got too much. Doesn't have enough bounce.
All right, and you mentioned it's good. The shavings are good for a smoke.
Yes, people do like to smoke it, and a lot of people like ornamental pieces that they can shave a little bit off every now and then. Almost like a transformation of a sculpture. It's really, really interesting. It's like the motion of time, movement of time thing.
And if I were going to have something like that made, who should I go to here to do that?
Well, we make that stuff here. But we tend to have a higher, more affluent clientele, I would say, and they tend to buy more ornate carvings. But if you wanted something as simple as a couple, 10, 15 rings of it.
Well, what's the price range that you normally deal with?
Well, I can take this 10 gold worth of wood here that you've got, and I can transform it for about another 10 gold. Merchant to merchant, obviously. This is not prices for individuals.
I wanted to have something pretty made for someone.
Oh, yes. We'll take special orders as well. We'll do double material costs. So as long as it's not too ornate, whatever you like for double the material cost.
All right, then. I'll be back in the morning.
Great. Good to do business with you.
Absolutely.
And he turns over the gold, shakes your hand, and says, may your business ever prosper.
Yours as well.
And he goes off, and you can see him sniffing the wood again. With a smile on his face. Fantastic.
Yeah.
And he goes off into his shop.
If we're still on that street, I would take us by the Gem Cutters Guild to see if we can unload that crystal.
Okay.
I guess.
Oh, yeah. Sounds good.
Get rid of the valuables in the cart so we don't have to worry about it any longer.
Yeah. Someone is surprised when the wagon starts moving and she's jerked forward a little bit.
Oh, are you okay over there?
I'm fine. I'm just catching it up on the stats is all.
It's not like the normal forest, that's for sure.
And I might also inquire while I'm there if anyone's seen anything like these antique tools that I found. I haven't tried them out yet. They look too pretty to mar up.
Yeah, you're trying to decide whether or not it's a set piece to just look nice, or if it's something somebody actually used.
Yeah, it might be that. It might be something just for decoration.
All right, because you haven't tried them out yet. So you're up on there's a street that splits off Crafters Lane, and that's the Jewelers Street, and there's like several different jewelry places there. There's also places for buying metals and other things to craft and the stuff, and other raw materials and goods that have been worked into kind of like a secondary form, like tubes and all this kind of stuff. Normal things you would see if you were going to be trying to craft jewelry quickly rather than starting with like a lump of gold and melting it. So there's a lot of finished metal goods to be transformed into jewelry and otherware.
And moving up, do I see a location that might suit our needs for unloading this?
There is a place that has a very large crystal pillar in front of it, and it's part of a bronze statue of a person holding it aloft. It's a very beautiful, probably half-size elven lady, and it looks like she's holding a piece of a fiery crystal, and the sun reflects off of it.
Oh, that's not good. Don't tell him that. Oh, he's gonna try to steal that. But anyway, this is the place. I'll motion towards this shop, and we'll go inside, I guess. Or I will, anyway. Whoever wants to come in with me.
Okay.
Edwin, watch the wagon.
I'll join him.
I'll go inside. I got to unlock the compartment anyway.
I'll
Hey,
stay.
the big lockbox there.
I'll stay with the wagon. We're in a different part of the street, so there's more buildings to study.
Okay. You look around. There's a lot of areas for looking at different things in shops and other stuff like that. There's quite a bit of things to look at. It's very busy on the eyes for how many things are everywhere in this place. As you all enter the shop, you can see that there are a lot of crystalline objects, either things crafted out of crystal or raw crystal. And there's an old gentleman. Looks like he's sitting on a high stool, fiddling with some jewelry, and he has a kind of like a white beard that's kind of pointed, very bushy white eyebrows, and a bit of strangling long hair that he's got underneath this strange metal hat that he's got these different lenses in front of. And he says, just a minute. I'll be right there in a moment.
Oh, take your time.
Done. And he sets down a piece and the tool he was working on. What can I help you with?
I had a few things I wanted you to have a look at for me, if you wouldn't mind.
Great. Where are they?
First, I came across this set of jeweler's tools. I'm a jeweler myself. You may or may not have heard of me. My name is Gambit Fireshine. I'm from Greatdale.
Some people I do recall from Greatdale, I believe.
Yes. I haven't heard much of my folk of late, but perhaps you'd have a look at these tools, and I'll show him the set that I found.
Never met anyone from Greatdale before, but I have heard good things about them. Okay, so he's going to take a look at it. He's like, oh, well, these are marvelous. Where did you find these? These are very nice.
Well, the source was, well, so much for the source anyway. But
I expected. I thought maybe you had bought them from some estate and you were bringing them in for me to look at.
Well, perhaps. I'm not quite sure what the value of them might be, or whether I even dare use them. They look to be in such good shape. I don't dare to try them out.
Well, I think maybe perhaps a master craftsman became bored one day and decided to make himself some extra tools, maybe for display or something. I don't think they'll break. I think they're definitely made by an artisan who was going for function. But they do have quite the form as well. So, are you interested in selling these, or are you interested in keeping them? I'd say they definitely, it's important to use the right tools.
I don't know. Perhaps I should.
Oh, why don't you think about it?
I'll weigh my options. I'll get back to you on that one.
All right.
I have something else for you to look at.
Okay.
And I'll take some of the broken ones and some of the full pieces of the circlets and the powder and the dust, and have him look at those, see what he says about that stuff before he gets to look at the pillar.
Okay. So he's not looking at the pillar, he's just looking at the broken ones and the whole ones?
The broken ones and the whole ones, and whatever he thinks about that stuff.
I've
come across some fine material here, and I thought perhaps you'd be of interest.
I don't usually buy natural non-rock crystals, but this one interests me. He says, can I take some of this? Can I take some of this powder and check it?
Yes, by all means. And I have Bard with me here as well, don't I?
Bard?
Yeah.
Okay.
Bard's here with me, right?
Yeah, I brought a coin for him to look at.
Okay. He's gonna look at the dust, and he looks at the dust in the stone shard, the crystal shards, and you see he's got this kind of instruments he's using to look at them, and says, well. And he puts it in a few different liquids, and it dissolves in one of them. Says, well, this I don't see this very often. Every once in a while I get a piece in, but this is from very far to the west. That's the only place I've ever found it. So along those desert wastes they've got out there. I mean, I've never been there, but I hear there's desert wastes out there beyond the forests, the wide range of forests. This is quite a far away to find it. It must have traveled quite a long distance to get here. Well,
yes, it's an exotic material. It was a fire for me.
It's very hard to come by, and this is a good quantity of it, I'd say. Not used for too many things beyond, well, it does make a nice stone polish every once, based on your design. You can make anything look good based on your design, but I would say this is good material. It'll definitely fetch a good price based on its rarity in these parts.
I'm willing to sell you the lot.
Oh, excellent. What price were you thinking about?
And I'll rattle off what Gambit would think would be a fair price.
Okay.
Oh, lad, don't bargain against yourself. Don't set the bar.
No, I think I really don't know as a person.
Okay.
Out of this world, I don't know what the going rate would be. I think you said 10 GP for a broken one earlier, didn't you? So I don't know what a whole one was worth. And I think there's several.
Those are for the discs.
Yeah, for the circlets.
Yeah, for the circlets.
Is this all the same?
It's the same material. It's just a different form.
Right. He's interested in the shards.
It's It's rods and broken shards instead. Oh yeah, you just showed him the shards and the dust and the bits, right?
Yeah, he just wants the broken stuff. Oh, I'm willing to sell him all of the circlets and all of the.
Oh, okay. Well, in that case,
I'm looking for a package deal here for all of everything we've.
Okay, so
uncovered.
There's 10 non-broken circlets, right? 8.
I only kept track of the ones I was holding. I don't know how many there was.
Okay, so how many do you have?
I only had one broken one, I think.
Okay.
I don't know who was carrying the rest of them.
Did Bard have the rest of them?
Yeah, I had the ones from the methods, but not what you pried out of the summoning circles down in the bottom room.
Oh, there was 6 around each one of those.
Yeah, a lot of those got broke by Bard.
But they got broken, so there was only 6 good ones.
Okay, so let's just say, and I think I said that you found some more circlets. So let's just say for everything all together, he is interested in giving you 160 gold for it. So he says, well, what do you think about 160 for the lot?
Well, you've proven that you believe it is of value.
That's true.
Boys, come here for a minute, and I'll motion them forward with the pillar, and then we'll reveal the pillar under the blanket and see whether we can come to terms on a large sum for everything.
Oh, no. That was beginning to get heavy.
He kind of is taken aback. He quickly gets himself under control and kind of brushes his eyebrows.
This is what we really came for. I had to judge to make sure you were of true spirit, and I believe you to be so.
Yes. Well, for 160 for all these, I will. I don't think I would like to break that one up. I think I'd like to keep it whole.
2,000 gold pieces.
I told you it was 50 pounds, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Because
the negotiations were making me feel all of those pounds.
I don't think I can go that high. I might be able to sell it for that if I find the right buyer. But I'm actually that's what I would sell it for if I was to find the exact buyer that wanted to pay the most for it.
And I understand. I need to leave you some meat on the bone.
All right.
You give me a number and we'll work from there.
Well, with this stuff and with that as well, I'll give you 1,160.
And on the next edition of Pawn Stars.
1,360 for all of our trouble harvesting it, acquiring it, keeping it safe, and getting it here.
You know, it is a rare piece, and I can see. Would you throw in the antique jeweler set for that?
Well, no, I said we've discussed that in the morning.
Ah.
Sorry.
Well,
but my friend does have a crystalline disc for you to look at. You can discuss with him that on a separate transaction.
I will do your price, and I will give you a bit of advice. You should probably keep that set of tools.
I believe I will. I thank you very much, sir.
Well, good day, and I'll have my steward take care of the accounts. So he says, "Is platinum okay?"
Can I? Will that suit you and your coffers?
If it spends, I'll be good for it, but just gotta be careful sometimes when you spend it.
All right, he gives you 1,000 gold pieces worth of platinum.
Wow.
So, what's that? 100?
I don't know the ratio.
Yes.
10 to 1?
Yep, 10 to 1. And he gives you the rest in gold.
So, okay. 100 platinum pieces, 360 gold pieces.
Mm.
Wow.
Great. I'm very happy with that.
Yes.
I'm going to have to become a jeweler.
Now, he does that after, he goes through the rigmarole and inspects the piece, looks it over, and then he says that he'll do your price, and he'll give you that bit of advice.
That's great.
Before we head out, I'd like to show him that crystal coin I got from Helena.
Okay.
And ask him if he knows what it is.
Oh, this. I see one of these from time to time. This is from over the rainbow.
Do I know what that refers to?
There is a story about someone finding something over the rainbow and going to a magical place. But, he basically said, "Oh, that's this fairy story." To you, as far as you're concerned. At least that's how I heard it tell. I do not know where they actually come from. But that's the stories I've heard since I was a boy.
Do you know if they have any kind of use, or are they just in reference to the fairy story?
Oh, well, the collectors will buy them. I have enough. But collectors will buy them. People will give them as tokens, kind of like as a gift to keep. Things of that nature. I'm sure you can find somebody who will purchase it from you. If you're willing to sell it well under what I would consider the perceived value of it, I'm willing to take that. But
oh no, it was given, like you said, as a gift from a person. So I'll. Okay.
Yeah. So you should keep it, lad.
I appreciate it. I just didn't know what it was. I appreciate that.
Well, any other questions or you got anything else to sell back there? He laughs. I was like, well,
not this time. Maybe next.
I think I've done enough of buying for this week, gentlemen, and you all have a good day. And he goes back and he has somebody carry off the pillar. He says, set it right over there. I want to look at it.
Now, don't worry if there's any arcane properties or spirits of different planes start popping out of it or anything like that. You should be fine.
Huh? And I guess that on that you all leave.
That was very, very cool.
He goes back to looking at it, kind of worried. Then admires it.
Well, so far, Kenny, you've had a pretty profitable first run as a merchant.
Well, this is quite beyond what I ever expected, to be quite honest.
It's well above what that dirt pays.
Well, I did say it was getting late. You amazingly got into the shops before they were going to close up for the evening. And there are places along Crafter's Way where you can take your carts back and secure them. There's also a large stable by the Gates of Ale.
I'm thinking that's a good place to park the wagon.
I'm thinking first round's on me.
Yeah. Go by the Gates of Ale.
I'm thinking you're right.
All right.
Liquor and find out about the Caverstead Company, I guess.
So on each one of there's a sign for the Gates of Ale, which is a little bit more thorny and dark metal with the glowing ale in the center. And on each one of the doors coming in, it's the kind of embossed engraving of the wonderful shiny ale. And kind of like faux gates are opened up ahead of it. So you all head in and have a round of drinks after a very successful merchanting and avoiding death and goblin killing and whatever the bucket is.
I assume somebody gives me the platinum or my share.
Oh yeah, yep. You got 25 platinum and 90 gold.
Yeah,
that deal.
They gave
I've never seen silver pieces like this.
Yeah, which makes me handing Silverthorn the 25 gold from the wood seem sort of paltry. I'm going to give it to her anyway.
So,
oh, and those aren't silver pieces. They're platinum.
Nope, the weight.
You're going to make some carrier boys that you give a tip to very, very happy.
Oh, this is that platinum I heard people talk about. Hell, this is a lot.
And Edwin, it is your share from the journey, and I hand him 10 gold.
Ah, thank you very much. You've done so much for me. I very much appreciate it.
Everyone needs a hand up to get started, so tomorrow I'll take you to where you're going to be.
Okay. All right. So it is getting kind of late. Amazingly, not a lot of combat, less than I thought there was going to be. So you settle down.
Very exciting video.
Lots of talking and merchanting.
We did also just get to the tavern, so given our track record, we should be heading right into combat.
Let's go 2 for 2. Burninate it.
But maybe the scary man can become the burning man. The burning scary man.
So as you enter the Gates of Ale, it is very nicely done. Everything is kind of clean, pristine. It is not your seedy part of town kind of place. They kind of look you over and be like, would you like to take a repast upstairs and wash the dust off of you from outside?
What? What's a repast?
It's relaxation and cleaning up after being on the road, which you obviously have been. If you don't mind me saying, sir, I'm a ma'am.
I raise my hand up and one finger and go, yes, please.
It's like salvation, the Gates of Ale.
Does this, whatever you just called it, include a bath?
Yes, that is actually the most important part of it. Please come this way and let us take the dust from your long travels. With that, you're all ushered into an area where you can quietly sit, get ungeared, get ungrimed if you so desire, and they also bring you meals based on what you want. Of course, for a price, and it's pretty high. It's definitely not. You're not in Stationton anymore.
Oh. Do they have a value menu? Or,
Basically, you can eat and have a bath for 2 gold apiece.
Oh, well then.
That's reasonable.
Considering how much I just got, sure.
Yeah,
and
it'll be another gold apiece for a room and board. I mean, for room.
Do it.
They don't even mention the rooms until you've all kind of hung out, ate, and cleaned.
I see. So, I also want to take care of the wagon and make sure it's secured and.
Oh yes, we'll have someone take care of that for you. Here, and they give you a metal stamped ticket that has a 3 on it.
Perfect.
Before we go off to the separate baths and everything, I want to make very clear now, Kenny, you're not going to leave after your bath, right? When I get done with mine, you're going to be in this building, right?
Yes, I'll probably be at the table eating and drinking, so I'm not going any farther than that.
I just want to make sure, because damn, there's a lot of people running around this place.
Yeah, it's a bit of a change, isn't it? That's why I chose to be out with the company and away most of the time. It's just a lot of commotion.
No, we have a OCD and a ranger with separation anxiety.
I mean, in Stationton, if you guys wandered off, I could find you. If you guys wander off here, I'll never find you.
You'll drown in the sea of people.
Oh, quick question. Did they allow the dog in?
Oh,
Drew. He won't be happy if...
He may have had to stay with the wagon.
I think they're going to want him to stay with the wagon.
Okay, that's fine. He's cool with that.
He'll just kind of sit down and...
I'll just pay to make sure he gets well fed.
Okay.
Yeah, actually, if there's a stable boy and someone who takes care of the horses and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, there is.
Hey, well, Drew likes a good grooming too, so consider it a spa day for Drew, and I'll pay them to feed and brush and clean Drew.
All right, great. Okay, so the stable boy says, no problem. It's just the normal. We'll do like what do you think? A half a horse fee for this Drew?
You'd like that? That's fine by me.
Okay.
Consider it done.
All right. So you're going to bed down the. It's not like the Ritz. It's not like golden shower stuff and things like that. But it is. It does have a level of.
You're saying golden shower like it's a good thing?
Like golden shower heads and things.
Hello, it's a family show.
Not that kind. And platinum.
Is there anyone out and around by the bar or no?
There are plenty of people out and about. They all seem to be either newly cleaned from being off the road, or they've been around for, it looks like they've you can tell the kind of wariness but excitement of being off the road that several people have on their face. And there's also plenty of people that have just probably been here for weeks, months, maybe. They're the regular city people.
Well, I think after our raging success, Gambit's going to go buy a bottle for our crew and try to get a little bit of a raucous party going here and strike up the band and try to get an atmosphere going in the bar here.
Do you want to carouse?
I want to carouse and maybe do some information gathering in this new city.
Okay.
That might be the thing to do here at this point.
Silverthorn.
And kind of lift everyone's spirits a little bit.
Quick question: are people in the bar aren't wearing armor and have weapons? Do they?
Not many of them, no.
Okay.
But some do.
I won't wear my armor then, but I'll always have something bladed on my person.
Yeah, you can see that a lot of people have like at the most like a dagger or a short sword or something like that.
That works. I will have that.
And he's gonna set into a terrible song and dance routine with a 4 performance check.
Oh.
So it's comedy then.
Well, he thinks he's doing a good job singing and dancing, but clearly he's not.
Too much time in the Fey world. Do that to you.
Yeah, too much of those mushrooms.
Try to help him with my horn.
Okay.
Someone should buy everyone a round of drinks. Then they'll be very.
I think so. I think so.
It's a 19.
All right. Well, you have taken his errors and missteps in his dance and performance and kind of blended them nicely together. So
that's it, folks.
So it's not terrible. And several people are like, yeah, this is great.
And to try and sweeten the pot, I'm gonna throw a gold up there. You're supposed to, they work on tips, so I'm trying to sweeten the pot.
Oh yeah, you're throwing me a gold, okay?
Yeah. Trying to get other people to follow suit. I'm the shill in the crowd. I'm helping. I'm throwing the thing.
I'm not much of a bard. Maybe Bard should take over.
The two of you get a gold worth of silver and copper pieces, besides his gold that he threw you.
Well, now that we're inside at the bar and I've had a little bit to eat, I'm going to start looking around at the people.
Okay.
After all, they are my favorite enemy.
You're all on my list.
We've noticed.
But looking for basically what the people are like here, because I've never been to this big city before.
Well, you see a lot of people that you think you saw on the Crafter's Lane, but you're not totally sure. They're either in different dress or different hair or something's different about them. So maybe you've never seen these people before, and you do notice a few people over in the corner. Looks like they're all kind of kitted up in the same gear, and they are still armed and armored, and they seem to be. You see a circle on their arm. It's an unbroken circle with basically 12 coins on it around the circle.
Okay. Are any of the people I'm looking at paying attention to us in particular? I mean, those of us who aren't singing or dancing.
You can tell you're getting a few people looking your way. Some of them are answering a question, and then they'll ask somebody next to them a question. Some of them are just kind of like a confused look. You can say that probably you haven't seen a wild elf in the city yet, and you certainly, if you had, you probably didn't recognize them because they kind of blended in.
Yeah. So far, you haven't described anything that would look like a predatory look.
No one looks like they're trying to eat you or wants to eat you.
Okay.
Well, I mean, there's a few people that are glancing at you with appreciative eyes, but no one that looks like they're going to try and capture you and put you in a sack.
Okay. That's just because I'm used to being in bars. I've been in buildings before, so I can try and get a lay of the people now. And see if anybody's stalking us.
A lot of people are, even if they are a threatening kind of person, they're not threatening you right now. And it seems to be good spirits at the Gates of Ale. You do hear some talk about different things going on with merchant groups and other things, and a lot of like a tremendous, an insane amount of gossip about, because this is Crafter's Lane. So you've got people talking about their bosses, people talking about their deals that they made that were great, people talking about how they got ripped off, all kinds of stuff. And excuse me.
If there's anything in particular that we can kind of cue in on about the Caverstead Company or about the red, black, and the blue, I want to just kind of make a note of that.
Okay.
Like a mental note, you know what I mean?
All right, you do hear, this is far from, if you ask anybody, I think, because you had a few people on your, I think Bard had a few people on his list, but Bard, you have not we're not even in the section where the mage towers are. The mage tower.
Right.
So you're far enough away from that area that you don't expect to see any type of people that would tell you about the red, the blue, or the black. But you do hear some talk about a contract that went bad recently, and they're the only low spirit people in the place, aside from those people over in the corner with the circle on their arm. Those people that kind of seem like maybe they're on duty or just got off duty or something, but they don't seem very interested in making merry or hanging out with people. But the people that just had the deal go south said they were it's like, yeah, double crossed by the Golden Hand. The bad group of fellas. We've got to watch out that we don't get tricked by one of those again.
Tricksters, you say? Could
I
I interject at this point, or are we talking to these guys?
Yeah, if you kind of talking to, saying something to him, and it's like, yeah, worse than tricksters. So thankfully, we just lost a bit of coin, but they've been known to make people disappear. They say once that golden hand gets a grasp on you,
are they extortion artists, or what's the case? Are they taking advantage of you, or
they look around a bit, and it's like, well, there's talk that it's an organized group, and there's talk that it's just one person. I'm not too sure. I've only dealt with the people that kind of act as their informants, and their informants. Well, we thought it was just a guy ready to do regular business, but he double crossed us, and we lost our goods, and we lost the pay.
It's like you're wrapped up in some shady dealings.
Well, it wasn't supposed to be shady. It's simple. It's totally above the bar. Nothing that we have to whisper quiet about. But I'd have to say that when the Golden Hand gets involved, everything gets muddled.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that, and I'll buy them around, I guess. Just this table. I don't want to get too crazy.
They like a smiling grimace, and they go, "Thanks, that'll help take a bit of the edge off."
I'll give them like the one bottle there, a bottle of wine to share.
Okay. They toast you and
raise your spirits. It's a good night. It's a good night.
You do hear some things about the Caverstead, and you're not sure, but you believe someone's talking. You heard them talk about how the Caverstead and the Golden Hand might be linked, might be shaking hands, and thieves can't wise. So that's the one bit of piece that you pick up tonight about the Caverstead.
Okay.
And that that starts leading back into other things, and people start talking about Caverstead a bit more. It seems that Caverstead isn't liked, but they're very, very powerful. So people are kind of being hushed about how they're talking about them. It's like
kind of how you don't talk about the boss when he's in case it gets back to him.
Yeah, someone might snitch on you about how everybody else doesn't like the boss. So it's kind of like that. There's the Caverstead tend to be heavy-handed, and they're just too into everybody's business.
Well, we're getting a feel of the way this town works, boys.
I could have told you that there's plenty of wheeling and dealing. I'm just happy to not be wearing the armor all night and being able to let my hair down and have a drink and just relax.
I didn't know your hair was that long, Kenny. It reaches down to your arse.
Well, we don't normally cut it, so...
The first time I've seen it out from underneath the helmet.
All right, we've sort of been, out on the trail, so don't want it swinging about and getting in my face.
You don't want it waving in the breeze?
Well, unless I have a Fabio moment or something like that, but no. No. I don't need the Thorin Oaken shield blowing in the thing and
I don't know, Kenny. You keep on saying that you
just no, just stop, just no.
You seem comfortable in these here taverns, but I don't think this sedimentary lifestyle is what's good for you.
That's why I joined the military company 50 years ago.
That's what I'm saying. I've seen you in battle. You only seem alive when you're fighting. When you're here in a tavern, I don't know. You just sit there.
Yeah, well,
Sedimentary is not a good lifestyle for you.
That's probably true. It's probably the wisest words I've heard so far. But then again, sometimes in taverns, battles erupt anyway because people are drinking, and I just happen to like to be around places where that could happen.
If we float out the idea of there being an ogre 3 days up the road, does anybody ears perk up to that?
Several people look at you and they say, "Oh, really? That must have been what happened to Wilson."
Well,
a while back, about a few weeks back, we lost a friend of ours. We thought maybe that he had just nothing about his wagon, nothing about anything.
Oh, and to a retcon, as we passed wagons heading north, we warned them about the ogres, or the goblins with the ogre.
Okay.
I forgot to say that because I wasn't on the road and I didn't see the wagons coming past us.
Well, they take that. They thank you for that, and they take you that into advisement, and they kind of bunch up more as they're going through the area.
They could hire the Three Peaks company, and get a good. I can
Well, sometimes it's better to be quick than cautious. They're hoping they just go through and not have any problems.
I can give them a good deal, but that's okay.
So the people that interact with you about that, they say that Wilson, we lost him a couple weeks ago, just disappeared. Just a couple pieces of broken wagon was all people saw when they passed an area. It's about 4 days out from here.
Yes, we've got a good idea where he's located. We've got plans on dealing with that bastard as soon as we get a chance.
Oh, are you mercenaries? I'd chip in for old Wilson.
That. You can say that.
I don't know what kind of danger you'd face, but I think we'd all chip in for old Wilson. Kind of as a funeral bouquet.
You hear that, lads? We've got another job.
What did you float to?
Before we're finished with one, we've got another.
Well, okay. And in a low, I guess Silverthorn's right next to me. So in a low voice. Well, we were gonna do it anyway, so now we get paid for it. So, by me, and I'll lift a glass in the direction of the person who said that.
Okay.
Gather it up then. The Three Peaks company will handle it.
Okay. One of the drunker of the three people, and go, "Oi, everyone! Who remembers old Wilson? These four young people. Well, not four young people.
I'm quite old.
This quartet here is going to take care of the person that done old Wilson in. Who's into chipping into the pot?" And many people will go, "Oh yeah, I'll chip in for Wilson." And then it turns into the people are like all putting money into this big mug for you, and
really big mug.
It's a big mug, and they're all telling stories as they do about old Wilson.
And what sort of proof will you need that we took care of it?
Good point. That's a good point. You can tell these guys are kind of lit from drinking too much, and with the whole thing bringing up Wilson, they wanted to drink more. And they say, "Well, how about if it's an ogre?" You say. You said it's an ogre?
From what we've heard.
If you say it's an ogre, how about his head? That's kind of the standard, isn't it?
Sounds good.
And maybe a hand. A
We can
hand
do
on
that.
his head.
You take that pitcher of coins and keep it behind the bar until we return.
Aye, we'll put it up on the pedestal there. We'll
You
put it
can
up
keep
on the
adding
shelf.
to it. Sing songs to old Wilson and keep chucking coins in there until we get back.
Says, aye. And he puts he hands it to the bartender and he puts it up on the shelf. Takes a bit of paint and scrawls Wilson on it.
I'll say a prayer for Wilson.
4 days is a long way to go with a rotten ogre head. We may need to get a barrel of pickling brine.
That's a good point. Anybody's head could look ugly as an ogre after 4 days on the road, being relieved of its body and all.
I'll have a pickled ogre head on the way back. That's nice.
The first official D&D crowdfunding campaign. Adventure.
And a hand. Well, you know, if they start adding up the body parts, you might as well just bring the whole thing back. You don't need a big battle.
A big 1,000-gallon brewer barrel. Half up with pickle and brine, half up with an ogre.
Well, from the description that goblin gave us, I don't think we could be able to get the wagon all the way to the cave. So,
No,
how big of something do you want to be able to carry out there and back?
Oh, I don't really particularly want to carry much of anything.
we can leave the wagon here in Astoria for that short of a jaunt, can't we?
Well,
For 4 or 5 days.
but if we do that, then how are we going to pickle the thing to...
We only need his head.
Yeah,
He'll fit in a 5-gallon cask,
all right.
and you only have to have that a little bit filled up with brine. Getting a little too detailed on pickling a head.
I'm beginning to worry about you, Nate.
I just came up with it on the fly. Totally not haven't researched this before.
You know, it sounded really natural.
That's the role playing. That's the role playing.
Another topic for DM 911.
How to get out of it when your group thinks you may be a serial killer. GM 911. All right, well, we know what we're going to be doing next time on Hold the Mordanes, episode 5, but it has been a long shot, so we're going to have to call it quits for the evening. There has been a ton of fun with interaction with characters. I want to give you all a inspiration. You can add it to your total and spend them as you wish. Oh, I also have to give you XP. Hold on a minute. All right,
Well,
I believe you're all at 750 right now.
Okay.
You're each going to get 500 XP.
Oh, well, then that's fine then. That happens to be a nice round number.
Between all the role-playing, the goblin defeating, and returning heirloom swords, and other such things, and all the successful merchanting, I feel like giving some XP for that as well. So,
I feel like that often.
all right, and feel free after after you're like, oh, we're gonna go, for Wilson, and you're gonna go to sleep, obviously, because it's getting late after all the carousing and stuff. The next morning, feel free to level up to I guess 3rd level then, right? You should all be at 3rd. Let us know what you think in the comments below. While you're at it, like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, stay nerdy.